Welcome, y'all. I am so glad that you could join us today for Virtual Moon School. Today, we're learning about Mabon. Now, Mabon is one of the 8 Sabbats we celebrate in the Wiccan Wheel of the Year. It comes after Lammas and before Samhain. Mabon is the second of our 3 harvest-based Sabbats. The next Sabbat, Samhain, completes the harvest cycle. Mabon is also when we celebrate the autumn equinox. Have you ever wondered why our weather changes and why we have different seasons? It's actually all because of the Earth's tilt and its orbit. Here you can see 2 different lines going through the Earth. First, let's look at the black line that goes all the way from the North Pole to the South Pole. This is the Earth's axis, and the Earth makes one full turn around this imaginary line every day, or 24 hours. This is what gives us day and night, because as the Earth spins around its axis, during the daytime it faces the sun, and that makes it light. And at night it turns away from the sun, which makes it dark. Now, if you look closely, you can see that the Earth is not sitting straight up and down. It actually sits at a constant tilt or angle of 23.5 degrees as it spins. Next, let's look at the white line going through the middle of the Earth from left to right. This imaginary line is called the equator, and it's the dividing line between the northern and the southern hemispheres. Now, at the same time that the Earth is spinning around its axis, the whole planet is also making an orbit around the sun. It takes 1 full year, or 365 days, for the Earth to make this rotation around the sun. And as the Earth travels around the sun, it creates patterns where different parts of the Earth get different amounts of heat at different times of year. Each year, as the Earth repeats this journey around the sun, the pattern repeats too, and that's why we have different seasons. The part of the world we live in here in Texas is called the Northern Hemisphere. When our half of the Earth is leaning towards the sun, the days are longer and warmer and we have summer. And when our part of the Earth is leaning away from the sun, the days are shorter and colder and we have winter. Twice a year, once in the autumn and once in the spring, we have what is called an equinox. And an equinox is when the sun is exactly over the equator. At an equinox, neither of the Earth's hemispheres are leaning towards or away from the sun, and the entire world gets to share in one day of perfect balance, each getting 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime. After the autumn equinox at Mabon, here in the Northern Hemisphere, the nights will grow longer and the days will grow shorter. At Mabon, some Wiccans focus their celebration around the Greek goddess Persephone, while other pagans focus around the Welsh god Mabon. Some Wiccans will focus their second harvest celebrations around the autumn equinox and achieving balance in their lives, because it's one of the only 2 times of year that the whole world shares a perfect balance of day and night. Other pagans will focus more on the harvest and the spirit of Thanksgiving. Many people in our faith will celebrate a mix of many of these different aspects or celebrate them all together at Mabon. One of my very favorite things about this time of year is that we start to get tons of fresh apples in our stores and our farmers markets. And one of the neatest things about apples is that they hold a very special symbol inside if you know how to look for it. If you take a very careful look at the apples in this picture, you can see that the apples in the center were cut across their middle instead of cut from top to bottom. Can you see the pentagram inside these apples? Do you notice how each point of the star holds a seed? With your parents' help, I bet you can find a pentagram in the next apple that you enjoy. The pentagram is a very important symbol in our faith. Each point on the star represents one of the 5 elements. Many times you'll see the pentagram surrounded by a circle that goes all the way around the outside. This is called a pentacle. Both the pentagram and the pinnacle remind us of the goddess's promise to life from the earth. Part of the power of the pentagram comes from the fact that even though it crosses over itself, it's actually all drawn with one single line. Because of the fact that the autumn equinox is one of the 2 times of year that our whole world shares 24 hours of perfect balance, many people in our faith will focus their energy on achieving balance in their lives at Mabon. Now, balance is a lot like patience. It's not something that you can just find one time. It's something that you have to be aware of inside yourself and adjust each and every day. A good way to think of balance is it's when both your body and your mind can not only find their center, but also be flexible enough to be able to adjust when you face challenges and obstacles on your path. Chanting can be a great way to raise energy, and there are so many wonderful chants that you can use to do this. Today we're going to learn a chant called Earth My Body. As you chant along, I want you to feel that energy raising up inside you and let that energy fill you up with joy and balance.
Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit.
There are so many wonderful ways that you can celebrate Mabon at home with your family. You can create a Mabon altar with your family or even create one of your very own. Mabon altars are often decorated with altar cloths and candles that are in autumn colors like maroon, red, brown, orange, yellow, and gold. Many times you will see second harvest foods and drinks on Mabon altars. You can also add things to your altar that remind you of balance, things that you are thankful for, even fall leaves and seeds and nuts that you find outdoors. And make sure that you add any of your Mabon crafts you create to your altar as well. Like everything in nature, pine cones play an important role in the cycle of life. Just like many people in our faith begin to turn their focus inward at Mabon, so does the pine cone. Right before the pine trees drop their cones, the cones close their scales to protect the seeds they hold inside from cold temperatures, wind, rain, and even the animals who might try to eat them. When the wheel of the year turns back to warmer weather, they open back up and they release those seeds so they can grow. Pine cones start to fall in most parts of Texas around Mabon, and they can be used in so many crafts and different types of magical work. Ask your family to help you search for pine cones and see what kind of Mabon crafts you can create with them. Maybe you could even make a wreath or a bird feeder out of what you find. As the wheel of the year turns round to its darker time, we begin to spend a lot more time inside our home. Mabon is a perfect time to declutter and clean up our indoor spaces in preparation for that extra time we're going to spend inside during the colder months ahead. With your parents' permission, you can go through your things and let go of those that you don't need anymore. Toys that you've outgrown, clothes and shoes that are now too small, and books that are now too easy for you can be donated or shared with others who can use them. Cleaning out the clutter from a space can also really improve the way energy flows through it. Many times when we have spent a lot of time in a space like we have as of late, a good cleaning and organizing can make it feel new and make room for fresh perspectives. Once you've decided what to let go of and you've cleaned and reorganized your room, take a bell and ring it all around your room, even in the closet, to help knock out any negative energy. And then ask your parents if they will teach you how to smudge your room. This presentation was created for the Texas Local Council of the Covenant of the Goddess by myself, Guinevere Penn, as part of our ongoing children's programming. In addition to this video, there are two free downloads. One is a book for elementary age children, and the other is a book for the families and parents of toddlers and our young preschool children. The amazing video chant that was embedded into this presentation was graciously provided to us by a very talented YouTube creator, Olive Dreamtime. I've included a child-safe link to the video here so you can rewatch it again, but I encourage any adults watching to check out all the phenomenal creations of this YouTube creator. The artwork that is seen here in the video, as well as used in the free downloads, is a combination of things that I created myself in Illustrator and Google Docs, and the beautiful artwork that I purchased from Kate Hadfield Designs on Teachers Pay Teachers. I want to give out a huge special thanks to both Galen and Ahurin of Circle of the Serpent. This could have never come together without your invaluable contributions and your amazing support in this project. I encourage everyone to check out all the amazing things that the Texas Local Council of the Covenant of the Goddess has to offer. I've included the website here, but you can also check them out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I hope this video finds you all safe and with many, many blessings to count for Mabon. We will be posting another virtual moon school for Samhain. It'll have a video and books just like we have now. Check out all the amazing things, like I said, that Texas Cog has to offer. And merry meet again.